Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with Roche again today, and we're going to discuss some questions that came from Don Coyote, Don Flamingo, in which he asks if Femto is complete as a being, and will Femto go against the God Hand and possibly the idea of evil. So let's dive into this. In the manga and anime adaptations of Berserk, we saw in the clips all the members of the Band of Hawks were killed in a horrific manner, except for Casca and Gats. Now, when this happened, Gats was forced to watch the brutal raping of Casca. But prior to him actually being eaten fully by apostles, because his arm was at least eaten and his eye was gouged out, the Skull Knight came and saved both Casca and Gats. So with that being said, the sacrifice could technically be said to not be done, which would mean that Femto still requires those two bodies to be totally complete. But I believe it goes deeper than that. What this actually means, as Slan said it best when she noticed, is that, not everything is in their scope of being able to see. They can see the future to an extent, but they can't account for every possibility. And this is the one chink in Femto's armor. Not only the fact that Gats and Casca are still alive means that he still has a way to be defeated, but because they were still alive, Casca and Gats indirectly created another way for him to be totally taken out.
The Moonlight Child, right?
Yes, the Moonlight Child. So, you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, since he is linked to the child and the child is linked to Casca and Guts, that kind of makes him vulnerable. Fair. In a way, because the child has a lot of allegiance to, especially Casca, and I think that would cause him to probably have some sympathies towards them or her in the future.
Yeah, to touch on that, in the Hill of Swords, where Guts and Griffith finally met up after everything, and Griffith being reborn into the world, Guts asked Griffith, do you feel anything at all for all the people who died, any type of remorse? And Griffith says no, he doesn't care. But only when he saw Casca, he felt something, and he actually went as far as to protecting her from a bunch of rocks and debris falling. So that is the weakness right there.
Yeah, that's kind of like a conflict of interest.
Very much so, because he wants them, he
needs them to be dead.
Yeah, he needs them to be dead, but yet because of him fusing with the child, he is linked to them indirectly. So it must upset him, because he knows that's a weakness in himself.
Yeah. So
he immediately left the area after the conflict between Zod and Gats. So to answer that question, Griffith is not only incomplete in the sense that the sacrifice was not completed, but because Gats and Casca lived through that event, they added additional weakness to him, making him truly defeatable.
Yeah, and then that kind of ties into the second question that he had, which is it possible that he could rise up against the God Hand? And I guess that human side of him that is linked to them might mean that he would want to protect their best interest.
Yes.
And possibly save humankind. I don't know if it meant saving Casca at least.
Yes. The fact that Griffith is linked to the shell again, it puts a human factor into him that he would otherwise not have.
Exactly.
Being a God Hand. So he is the anomaly in all the God Hands, because as far as we know, because none of them should be linked to any human sides. So with that being said, and remember, the child doesn't only exist in the physical world, he actually exists in the astral plane, the same plane Griffith, Femto exists in. So that's why the child fades away during the daylight. That means that their souls are actually connected, not just their physical bodies. So with that being said, it is possible that Femto will in turn actually battle against the God Hand outright.
Yeah, you know what? And this might be crazy, and some people might think this would never ever happen, but they could probably join forces, Griffith, Casca, and Guts, and fight against the God Hand. That's totally possible. So thank you for stopping by and checking out our video. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you haven't already. Do it right now. And subscribe and comment. We'd love to hear from you.